Hello, my name is Benson and welcome to my video. Today I'm going to show you some simple projects that you can do with your NEJE MAX 4, or if you have any diode laser which is around the 20 volt mark, then you can actually use some of my setting as your starting point. Obviously you do have to do your material testing, so don't just blindly follow my setting, but this is what you can achieve. So hopefully this series of video will show you what your NEJE MAX 4 can do, or what your 20 volt diode laser can do. And my project tends to be very beginner friendly, so hopefully that anyone who are testing the water with engraving, or actually if you're looking for your next laser, which one to buy. So hopefully this will show you what your diode laser can do. This project I use picture frame, and this one comes with real glass, which is very important. So this one I got it from Amazon for £16.99, so a bit of mental math, so this is around £4.25 each, and it comes with a pack of 4. Now each of these is basically a wooden frame with a piece of glass on the top. I will go through the details from start to finish later on in the video, but in the essence what you do is you spray the back of the glass, laser the top. The part which is burned will actually take the paint away, plus a bit of frosting on the glass itself. So the ending result is that you get all the white color, it becomes like a silvery smashed glass look. And this is what you try to achieve. But this is really an experimental thing. I'm really happy with the result, but to be honest with you, I can do with a lot of more material testing before I do it. But I thought I'd have some time in this video, and it's kind of the same format, so I want to show you what I have done with this. So basically this is plastic and not glass. I don't even know what plastic it is because it comes with IKEA, but it seems like a good idea to spray the back and just do the same kind of engraving, and then put some light at the back, and you end up with a shadow box like this. So this is not what I was intended to do for this video, but I thought I'd throw it in. So for my little project, let's start with what I use. So this one here, they come in a set of 4. Obviously I've done 2 already here, as you can see from the intro. So these are 5x7, so 127mm and 178mm photo frame. So they are made from cheap material. So actually I got this one free from Amazon. I actually rated this only 3 stars out of 5 because the quality, the finishing is just awful. I know it's cheap, but you can see glue lines on them. Some of them have a massive gap where all the corners are, and then it's like glue. They don't even the glue, they don't even spread the glue properly. It's just like a bobs of glue over there. Maybe I'm just picky, but just because it's free, I'm not going to rate them 5 stars because it's like I didn't pay anything for it. But if I'm to pay like £4 something, I do expect a little bit better quality. This is cheap, so that's why they do get like 3 stars instead of 0 stars. But anyway, any kind of picture frame will do, as long as it fits your laser bed size, and also it has to be real glass. If it's plastic, that will be another video, but we are talking about solid glass today. So let's start with taking it out of the frame. At the back is quite simple. It's just like some soft metal, which is kind of a strip holding the card at the back. So this is cardboard card, and you want to carefully take out the glass. Now when I say carefully, because this kind of a cheap picture frame, the edges, they don't finish the edges, so this is really sharp. Now with a diode laser you can't engrave the glass directly, so you do have to spray something on it so that the laser can catch. And this is where I'm going to start going outside to do some spray painting. And for today's video, I'm going to be using the enamel spray paint. This is black. I bought this from Amazon because it's cheap. So again, you don't need expensive stuff, just cheap stuff. And then just quickly give it a light coating. Now you do want even coverage, and you don't want to spray too much at a time because it will run. And I don't think you get a good result if it runs. So I'm just going to let it dry out a little bit, come back in 5-10 minutes and give it a second spray. Okay, while we are waiting for the spray to dry, I'm going to walk you through how I prepare my image. So obviously this is already done, and I want to do a start to finish, so let me show you what I would do. So let's start with a new file. I want to create a frame with T1 as a layer, and I draw a rectangle. Doesn't matter what size that now because you still need to change it. Then I'll go to the aspect ratio on the top right here, which has a lock mark. I'm going to unlock that, and I'm going to do it slightly bigger than the picture frame size. So it's quite tall, it's 7 by 5, so I'll do 185 and then I do 135. Obviously that is the wrong aspect ratio, so height is 185 and the top is 135. That should be the size of the photo frame. If you want to be exact, you can, but you know, I want to make sure that it's slightly bigger. I think 7 by 5 is actually 127 by 178. So after you have your frame and then you want to import your picture, I always get my picture when I'm testing. I go to laser pick image. Yep. I'll put a link in the description. And the image I'm using today, this is done by Matthew Uman. I already used his image a few times, so I know it's of good quality. With laser engraving, it's very important that you put good image in and also you get good image out. Now this one is already prepared over this side. This is original. Today I'm going to show you the original. So now what you want to do is you want to change your image to the size of the rectangle here. You can actually drag it with the corner, or you can actually type in the value. Okay, so first thing I'll do is lock the ratio here because I don't want to change the aspect ratio. And then I'm going to change the width because I think the width is bigger than the height. So if I change the width to 135, and then you select both and then right click and then go to apply mask to image. Now your image now disappear, but don't worry, it is still there. So let's click on the area where the image was, and then now you can drag, I don't want to drag the whole thing over there. So you drag it onto the frame that you have done. Now light burn will work out where the image is relating to your frame, and anything which is outside your frame will not get engraved. My computer is really slow because it's a old computer. Yeah, I think that's perfect. So you can see everything, there's no white gap between the frame and the view area. Now what I'll do is I will drag a square which kind of pick up both the layers, right click, and then flatten image mask. Now you don't have to do this, but I do this because my computer is so damn slow. Okay, now you have an image which is ready to burn. So next thing you need to do is go into your cut area to make sure you got the right setting. Now with my NEJE MAX 4, which is a 20 volt diode laser, I use a speed of 3000, a power of 50, and I have overscan of 1%, so this is to do with how clear your edges is. DPI is 282 or 0.09 dot size. Offset is 6 mil, and that is because I got a motorized Z-axis, and my focal length is that. Your focal length may be different, or maybe you have to set it manually. My dot size correction is 0.05, and number of pass is 1. In terms of the image mode, you can choose whichever which give you the best style. I always use defer, it's just for me a standard go-to, and then press OK. So light burn will do all my photo processing. Some people like a different step, which is like using image R or something like that. I don't know, I'm just lazy, so I get light burn to do everything for me. Okay, so now we have the piece of glass. This side is where you spray painted, and the other side is, you can still see through it, so it's not completely covered, but that doesn't really matter. Make sure that it's the paint side done. What we want to do is the laser penetrate the glass and actually engrave the underneath of the glass. Now the wood here is to lift it off the surface of where it's engraving. This is very important because if it is touching the surface area underneath, it will burn, but then it will leave loads of smoke and char underneath that. With this burn, I don't need air assist because the laser is actually hitting the bottom of the glass, not the top of the glass. So this part is where is the advantage of having a camera, because I can actually press the camera button and then I can move my image right on top on the glass overlay. I put it on top so that it covers the glass completely. I still need to do a frame just to make sure the laser dot is actually outside the engraving area. So there's a lot more space on the top than the bottom. But the size looks okay. So here is where you have to make the decision. Are you going to shrink down the image to fit the glass? Because at the moment, this is bigger than the glass. So if I don't move anything, this top part is going to be engraved off the glass. So we don't want that. So I'm going to move the image to make sure that is I cut off the bottom bit here, which is fine. I'd rather lose a bit more of the boob area than the headgear. So now it's just a matter of starting the burn. Now I'm going to do my time lapse here, so I will set up my camera. Alright, so it has been 1 hour 36 minutes, so about 1.5 hours, and it's nearly done. Hopefully I don't mess it up opening the lid. Yep, so the last few lines now. It turns out exactly how it should be. The thing about laser engraver is that once you get the setting right, it's repeatable. Everything should be the same. Okay, so this is the finished product. It looks amazing in terms of the details. I can still see lots of details. The thing I like about engraving glass is that the white is not actually white. The white is actually tiny bit of fractured glass. So this is not the best, because if you flip to the back, you can see that there's a load of burn mark on there. All you need to do is get a brush with a soft bristle and then just brush them off. Now they are powder. Usually I do it outside, but today I just want to show you guys, so I'm going to do it on the inside. So better not inhale this kind of powder, because any dust is not good for you. And that's it. So now you can put it back into the picture frame. So now put it in front of the white piece, which shows off a lot more of the white, and the cardboard at the back. Picture frame. There we go. So there we go. A bit of close-up for you guys. I know you can print photo, but this is not photo. This is like tiny bit of fractured glass. So let's answer some of these questions of engraving. So for example, this one here was on the picture frame. So I thought may as well show you guys what happened if you clean off the black spray completely. For example, just now I use a brush to brush off the black, and then it becomes a picture like this. But if you do have the time and patience and scrub off as much as, this is not poison, use an alcohol spray to scrub off as much of the black paint as possible, this is what you end up with. So some of the black, no matter what I do, the solvent is not going to dissolve it anymore. So some of the black is actually engraved into the glass, so no matter how much solvent and scrub that I use, it's not going to come off, which kind of a surprise to me. I know this is kind of an experiment thing, but yeah, so you can't really get rid of all the black completely. So if you are going to engrave, let's say, a glass or a vase with this kind of a method, you end up with a surface where there are like black that you can't get rid of. So I don't think this will be a very good idea for engraving glass that you're going to end up on a bottle. And if you put it on a white background, you can see that it's actually not so nice anymore compared to that when you get rid of all the black, because some of the black is actually shading. But what you do is you put it in front of a black background, and what happens is you put it in front of a black background and then it completely enhances the picture again. So if you put it in front of a piece of white paper, it doesn't look that good, but if you put it on top of a piece of black paper, then it looks perfect. It looks even better than when it's not clean. So I thought you guys want to know. So it looks better on a black background than a white. The one when you clean off the paint on the back and then put on the black background, looks a lot better. I wonder what happens if you clean. I wonder what happens if you clean it up and then just spray the back on again. If you spray the back with black, it wouldn't work because it will turn out like this. So learn from my mistake. Yeah, don't do that. Just put it in front of a piece of black cardboard or something like that. It will be a lot better. So here I have a IKEA, what is it called now? This is IKEA Santa hut. Now this is 25 centimeters by 25 centimeters, so it's a lot bigger. Again, this one have a piece of plastic on it. So I'm going to attempt to engrave this just like the way that we engrave the glass. So obviously this is not glass, so the power might have to be slightly different. So the concept is the same. I'm going to paint it black and then I'm going to engrave it. Now because it's plastic, I don't think I need such a big power, but I do need to do some testing. So I have spray painted the piece of plastic black on the back of this. So same concept, I'm going to burn the image onto the plastic. Now this time the setting is a lot lower because I'm not engraving glass. I'm actually just burning off the black paint, and I'm using 3000 speed with 10% power. And the reason why I choose 10% is because I do test a little bit. I don't know if you can see it here, but I do test a little bit with the power. First one I burn the top, the second one is kind of clear the back, so I'm going with 10%. It's going to be hidden by the frame anyway, so I'm not really bothered about that little bit of plastic. So yeah, same concept. I have did my frame, so this is slightly bigger than the piece of plastic, and I'm going to overlay on top, start the program, and then start the burn. So this is plastic engraving. I don't know how it shows up on the camera, but some of the plastic is engraved on top as well as the bottom. So the white is all engraved by the laser out. So let's do the brush cleaning again. So this is the back of the plastic, and that's the front of the plastic. Unlike the glass, there is not a lot of dust coming off this one. There's still some dust, but not a lot. As you can see, that when it catches the light, some of the top parts of the plastic actually got engraved. I don't really like that, but maybe because it was dirty, because it looks like some watermark. So without doing anything to it, it does look a bit dark. I mean, you can make out it's a tiger from afar, but what I want to do is I want to put some light inside and see how it works. So just as a test run, put some light behind it. It does have to be a diffuse light or else it's like a spot, but if I make it further away, yeah, I think that will work. So thank you for staying until the end of the video. Today's video was more about showing you cheap and easy project. For example, picture frame like this with glass on top. So this is a really good way to start engraving glass as a kind of a starting level. You engrave the glass with a spraying black on the back of the glass, and then you can achieve some amazing results when you actually frame it in front of a piece of white paper. I also show you that don't spray the black on the back of the glass again, because it's not going to come out well. But if you are into making your own photos and stuff like that, this look kind of amazing in my opinion, and it's cheap. Okay, I'll put a link in the description. You can buy better quality ones, but this one is £4.25 or $4 something. Now this one here is a bit of unexpected, because like, yes, I did a start to finish in this video with you guys, but this was not my intention at the beginning of the video. But I thought, why not? Because we are engraving back of the glass, so maybe we try out plastic as well. Now this one here, I'm sure is quite cheap as well, because it's from IKEA. Obviously a bit more expensive than this cheap one from Amazon. I'm not sure if they still do this particular model, because I had it for a while now. Now this one, instead of a picture frame, is actually a recess. But what I did was I put the plastic in the front, so you get a bit of gap behind, and then as I showed you earlier in the video, you put the LED light rope around it, and then you make it into a light box. A lot of the time I don't like showing spotlight. What I mean by spotlight is I never really like looking at LEDs in the video spot. I like a nice diffuse kind of a look to the color light. But actually I quite like this one here, because when I put it on, it's like a spiral across it. So it more looks like an infinity light now. This kind of light rope, again, is not that expensive, and it got loads of function. This one here actually have Bluetooth as well. You can actually control it with a phone. The more direct, you adjust it with the remote control here. So you can have standard color, so red, a red tiger. Let me give you guys a close-up. Yeah, so you got a red tiger, a green, blue, so these are the primary color. You also have anything in between, so this is like an RGB lighting. You can also have it at different mode, so like a fading red, green, and the speed can change as well. So for example, this is a bit too disco-y. You can actually slow it down, so it actually change gradually. But anyway, there's so many different functions to choose from. We'll put it on auto, so it kind of give you kind of random result. Yeah, so if you don't like this kind of infinity looking look, you can actually use the pre-cut out white paper which comes with it, and you can actually kind of I guess cut it out a bit. The picture will be smaller, but at least you'll be hiding the LED spots from the back. But that's all I have got time for you today. Thank you very much for watching. I can't wait to see you next time with more interesting gadgets. Bye bye.